Sitting at the bay looking at the ocean, watching the waves pull back in slow motion. Sunset was kissing the horizon. I turned left to look into her eyes and smile. I turned left to look into her eyes and smile.
Hello everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of the Game Changers podcast. My name is Quinn Sessions and it's a privilege and pleasure to be here with you as usual. The voice you just heard is the voice of Manasseh Stanislaus. In this episode, he dispels misconceptions, speaks about life as an entertainer, and delves into so much more in his day job as a journalist. Listen as he shares his amazing story. Yo Manasseh, how you doing, man?
Yo, bro, I'm good. Happy Sunday. You know, it feels like summer here. That's why we're wearing the summer vibes.
Happy to hear that, man. Happy to hear that. Happy to have you on, man. I'm looking forward to a honest, a fruitful discussion, a fruitful conversation. You know, it's always nice to have somebody who shares some of my interests. Talking to somebody who shares some of my interests, and I hope that you'll be able to give some good insight to the people who are listening or watching this episode.
Oh, for sure. I'd love to do that.
Beautiful. All right, so for people who don't know you, man, tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us some introduction.
All right, so to those who don't know me, my name is Manasseh Stanislaus. I am Manasseh the vocalist, aka the vocalist. And basically what I do right now, I am a singer and musician and also a journalist. So that's why Quinn would have a laugh because he sees me in the field.
Right.
My passion has always been delivering top tier vocals in what I do. And over my lifespan, started singing at age 4. And the events that I've come through has just shaped me and molded me into becoming a better person at my craft and with my musical talent. And I'm still looking to expand and shape myself to become a better version and contribute to society as well.
Beautiful. Yeah, and like Manasseh said, both of us, we know, even if we work for different companies, we see each other in the field all the time, almost every day.
Yeah, man, that's how it is.
If you don't know, the media fraternity, at least in St. Lucia, is basically like one company because we see each other every day, like literally at all the same events. So yeah, it's like I said, it's nice to have you on here. Okay, Manasseh, though, tell us
Yeah, thank you.
a little bit more, though. You said you are an entertainer, and most people who know you as an entertainer. But where did it all begin for you?
Where did it all begin? From the first ever Arthur Alley Challenge. That's where that whole dynamic shifted. Before I just did, church events, school choirs, competitions, growing up in my teens. And then when I won the first ever Arthur Alley Challenge, it changed the whole dynamic, bro. And it's just been a wonderful journey from there.
Interesting. Now, you spoke about that Arthur Alley Challenge. I remember when it happened. What year did that happen? Remind the viewers.
Okay, so for those who may not remember, that was 2018, the first ever Arthur Challenge. I was dubbed the winner on September 15th that year after my video submission. And what it has allowed for me is it has allowed me to network with wonderful artists, seasoned artists in the industry, legends like Ronald Bohingson, Michael Robinson, working alongside Arthur Alley himself, Ace, just a whole catalog of artists. And the first major stage event I had from that was Bohingson selecting me for his Show the World concert that year in November with Whitney Abizik. Whitney was the third place winner that year. And I performed the duet song Perfect, Ed Sheeran, Beyonce, because I won the Arthur Alley Challenge with the solo part, Perfect by Ed Sheeran. And that was an amazing feeling, bro. Nostalgic, just being on that stage with Ronald Bohingson and performing at my best. It really was an amazing avenue. And then the next year, 2019 came. And the 40th Independence celebration was on that same timeline. And Arthur made a song for the committee called I Love Ayanola. And he featured the top 5 of us, the winners, Tefian,
Right.
Josie, Jesmara, Tori L, and myself, and him on there. And then Ronald Bohingson selected me as the lead vocalist for the song We're All In, which was the mainstream 40th Independence song that year, with Wilburn and Jennifer St. Louis.
Beautiful. Now, you spoke about the challenge itself, but speak to, well, no, in fact, you spoke about the aftermath of the challenge. Speak to the challenge itself. How was it like? How was it like taking part in such a dynamic challenge with so many amazing artists working together with them and going up against them
Okay.
as well?
The story is quite funny, I was home and I got a call from Arthur at the time. He's like, yo, I know you're from Soufriere, now you have talent. Check out my page. I have a challenge going on. I want to see if you can submit something. So I said, all right. That day I went on the page, scrolled through submissions. I saw my partner Dishon there at number 10. I saw some other persons there, people I knew who had talent and the following. Because at that time, when I was 17, I did not really have a social media following. So I was scared because I'm like, bro, I'm going against these people that have the influence. What am I going to do? What am I going to add that will give me a winning chance? But I said, you know what? I'll take a shot at it. I went look for a song at the time. Perfect by Ed Sheeran would have done me justice. So I did about 2-3 takes. Right. I sent it into Arthur at around 11. And I went to do some stuff, bro. And when I came back on the page at 12:30, in under an hour, in under 2 hours, I came back and, bro, that was crazy. I was even surprised by the outcome. I had surpassed Dishon and Tori L by the reaction phase. In my 1-2 hours, I had already gained their amount of reactions and shares. And boy, it was just going wild. And I'm just here tripping like, why is this happening? I don't have a fan base. But it was just because Soufriere, my community, supported me and they saw the talent. So they decided to step forward and give me that extra hand. And I want to thank everybody who really reached out and shared my video, even though they had their preferences. And at the end, bro, I was crowned the winner, so I'm grateful. I'm really thankful to God
Beautiful.
for that.
Now you're speaking about Soufriere. I think there's something special about that community. What did that community do for you in your development? How did it connect with your development?
Okay, well, my journey started in church. I was raised as an Adventist, so I would be in the community, doing seminar, during crusades, church events, people would see me singing there. And that shaped me, the discipline aspect, the vocal ability, just being more in tune with, the church aspect of performing. And school, with the school choirs and other other activities, just gave me a glimpse into what stage performance was, performing at international choir festivals and competitions. But after winning the Alpha Ale Challenge, it broadened my spectrum on world entertainment and how there's different dynamics that should be added to your persona, to your music itself, reaching people, networking, the business aspect. These were all the things which I learned along the way from winning the Alpha Ale Challenge, thanks to Arthur and his whole team and the persons which I came across during the timeline after that. So it really shaped me. And I'm still looking to grow and develop myself, more or less in the business aspect, and still understanding business ethics, so I could become a successful artist and probably become mainstream and make it my full-time thing.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Now, you spoke about the business, balancing the business and other things. Now, I know that the media landscape, because I'm a journalist as well, can be a tough landscape. How does one balance being a performer and entertainer with gigs, I'm sure, and being a member of the media? How do you do that?
Yeah. Well, it's split like this. I would say 9 to 5 and you're 5 to 9. So what I mean by this is,
Okay.
in the media, work is like 8:30 to 4:30. And then when you go home, the gigs are mostly at nighttime. So you still have a gap of about 3 hours before you go home, prepare, gather your stuff, and then get onto the hotel. You spend your 2 hours at the hotel, come back home, probably before 11 or 10. And you could get a night's rest before you start the next day. So it's not too strenuous. If you manage your time well, you can make it happen. And if your band is really supportive and with you tight synced, then it's not really an issue. And I do it. I have done hotel gigs before, and I'm still looking to branch out and find other gigs. And I still do funerals in between, other events, functions. So yeah, it's it's manageable. If you have discipline and time management, you can balance both.
Okay, interesting. Now, has one helped the other? So, has being a journalist helped you or improved your life as an entertainer, or has being an entertainer helped improve your life as a journalist?
I would
In terms
say
of
I would
skill
say
set.
yes. Yes, it has. I when I just joined the media landscape last year, a lot of people which I saw at events, they recognized me for music. But now that they've seen me in a different light, it gives that broad spectrum and welcome into, okay, knowing that Manasseh is versatile and he has an added range which can be used for different aspects along his development. So
Right.
people who knew me from, let's say, Ministry of Sports, Cliver's Jules knows me for funerals and weddings because I've been at events where he's seen me, but then seen me as a reporter for events in Ministry of Sports and stuff. He took my contact and said if there is any event where the sports need a performance or something, he would contact me. So it's worked hand in hand because you meet people who are involved in music still and who have avenues which they can reach out to you and give you support for your growth and development. So yes, it works hand in hand. If you make the right links and network, it really is a pleasure.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, and I that's why I always tell people to do multiple things, man. In this world, you don't have to be one thing. I keep on telling people that you have multiple talents or you have multiple avenues that you can explore. So, tap into those things and they might help, develop the other. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, because media has been in the media fraternity has developed networking skills, learning different environments and how to approach different caliber of people. And just being in the same space with them, it gives you that sense of importance and understanding, hey, okay, on the business front, how do I approach somebody with this? Instead of going up to them just because, hey, I'm an artist, but now they know me as a journalist, an upcoming journalist, sourcing information, forming collaboration. So it really works well, and I'm grateful that yes, I got that job at DBS, and it really has shaped my life in a different way, and I'm glad just for the experience and the growth.
This ad slot could be yours. In a world filled with stories, make yours resonate. Introducing Prime ad slots on our podcast, the gateway to a captive audience eager to hear your message. Secure your exclusive ad slot now. Contact via our Instagram page to find out more.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now I know that as a young up and coming artist, there would have been hurdles. In fact, there are still hurdles that you have to overcome. What are some of those hurdles, and what lessons have you learned from overcoming them?
The biggest hurdle I would say is moving out of your comfort zone because, as a religious person, as an Adventist, there are certain standards which are cultured into you growing up. And when you hit a mainstream platform, these ideals have to be cut or reformed. And it takes a lot to reform it. And I was a bit stubborn because I'm like, people know me to have a great voice. Why should I go and do all these antics and theatrics just for a crowd impact? But the thing is, in reality, the talent is only 5% or 10% of the actual product. So when you go and do your marketing, learn the business aspect, learn how to communicate to the crowd, understand lyric to air ratio, all these other aspects that make the impact and the memory of you in the public's eye. That's the important thing. So being in the industry now and just learning all these things has broadened my spectrum and allowed me to grow and know, hey, if I put out a song, I cannot write it like a church poem because which audience am I going to target? But if I write something that's going to be sing along and has a catchy melody, hey, people are going to fall through. And I think one of that testament, a song to that testament would be Come Know Me and Summertime on my page, guys. I'll go check it out. Summertime featuring Salty and Come Know Me. It's a groovy soca.
Interesting. Now I'm hearing that you dabble into multiple aspects of music. So do you do gospel and other art forms as well, other genres, I should say?
Yes, yes, of course I perform gospel. I am yet to release a gospel single. I'm looking to work into that.
Okay.
But my first ever release was Come Know Me in 2020, just before COVID. It's a groovy soca. I was supposed to perform this actually for Youth Fest the prior year, 2019, but I did not have time to complete that song. That's a different story. But
Okay.
I performed for Youth Fest the next year, 2020, and I placed fourth, I believe, fourth or fifth. But I appreciated the experience, and COVID came around, so it was just a big hassle. And then after that, I released Summertime in September. Then I did a few other recordings. So COVID really allowed me to be creative because I was in that space where, boy, I couldn't touch studio. I was depressed. I had some equipment home. Alpha gifted me a Scarlett interface and a couple mics and other stuff. So I said, hey, boom, here's my chance. Let me learn the craft. Let me learn production. Understanding how to put vocals together, mixing and mastering, and put something out for the public. And yeah, I think COVID really reshaped us as artists. So I think now the digital era, streaming platforms, and it's just all worked in the benefit. So if you capitalize on it, you really can't go bad.
Interesting. Now take me into your creative process though. I heard you speak about it a little bit, but what is your creative process like? From the inception, from the idea of the song to actually, putting out a song. What is it like?
All right. For me, I I love to go on YouTube and listen to random instrumentals, and from there I would see what theme I can tackle on that beat. So if I'm feeling a love vibe, I would start writing a love song. If I feel like a celebration, I would start writing the lyrics, and then I would, start humming and putting the vocals together, see how I do a chorus, a bridge probably, and then record the idea and have drafts. I have a lot of drafts in my phone and my drive, bro. A lot of people have been giving me fire for not releasing them, but I'll come through. Just give me some time. I'll come through. And yeah, sometimes I get ideas before forming a beat. For example, in 2021, when Arthur had the beat, that reggae beat going on, he sent it to me. And at the time, I just did not have the inspiration, bro. I tried hard, and almost to the end, when I think it was closure time, I got inspiration for a song, bro. And the inspiration behind that song was me being frustrated at my dad for not allowing me to choose my musical path. As Adventist parents, you know how they are, bro. I don't need to go into the details. And it's called I Can't Do This. I Can't Do This No More. And I penned that down. Sent the demo to a producer called Kevil from Kingdom Tower Music. He structured a beat there, and the record is there, and I think I should release this because it is a beautiful body of work. Everybody can relate to it because there are times, you try to please your family and do things. But in life, really, your passion and your life is going to impact your happiness. So if you're living for people, you're always going to be disappointed because, hey, if they're not happy, you're not happy. But I understood that my happiness has to come first because I'm an individual and I am only from that individual, not a part of them. So all these things, help with the creative process. Just knowing yourself, knowing what your capabilities are, knowing what music hits the crowd best and how you could deliver it in a way that will stay on their mind every time they think of you and they say, hey, that's that man. When I heard this, it sounds like him.
Beautiful. I like that a lot, man. And I like how you use your experiences, your everyday things that happen to you every day and utilize it in your craft. And I think that's a beautiful part of it.
Oh, I think I've gotten too many jokes for that. Sika, I know you had him recently. Sika knows that I'm a heartbreak king, or I'm a love song king. And if you remember his song "Loving You," I'll give you the story about that though. We went to studio. That was in COVID time as well. 2020, he was recording, and he told me, bro, I need you to put a hook down on this or a whole verse. I told him, say less. We went to studio with Kevil. Spent just an hour. I stuck down an idea, and I wrote a whole bridge there. And when I did the first demo, bro, and the intro, if you heard the intro, it was just me vocalizing. Just everything in the intro, if you go back to that song, is just me, the saxophone, the bass line, all the harmonies, just me on that there. And I think that was the first time when I understood the value or the importance of what I could do with my voice. On that track, it really summarized that. And from there, I wrote a couple more heartbreak songs, Summertime, featuring Salty. I wrote another song for Independence, actually, in December, National Day. I wrote it for National Day. It's called At the Ocean, talking about St. Lucia's beauty and how you find comfort at her shores. It's really an amazing song, but like poetry, but with a bit of vocals. And I dropped the video for that the year after, 2021, on Independence Day. So really and truly, the experiences, like you say, they allow you to reach people because people relate to people's stories. And that's what music should be used as, a tool to relate people's stories. Because, hey, we all go through something. We all have a shared memory along the human line, along the human frailty. And I think when we get that inspiration or the upliftment in the music, it will give us a better sense of knowing ourselves and just allowing us to grow in a different way.
For sure. I like that a lot, man. All right, let's move on to my favorite segment of a Game Changers podcast. That's the quick hitter segment, which are rapid fire questions.
Dog, I doesn't play cricket. Easy. I'm not good at sports, but I'll try a thing.
Right. So answer these questions as quickly as you can, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
All right.
Okay. Question number 1. What is people's biggest misconception of you?
The biggest misconception is that I am a player.
Oh, wow.
and that I'm just so conceived in my talent. But the real thing is that when you have come from a place that you're always trying to be perfect and be accepted, it doesn't allow you to appreciate your self-value. So now you have to hype yourself to that point where you don't distract yourself to that aspect that, hey, you're not doing your best. When in reality, you would be doing your best. It's just that you're not received the right way, or it's just that probably their idea doesn't match with yours. So I think that has been an issue which I've combated in life, me being a player, because I'm really cool with people, welcoming, and a lot of females are around me. And probably you could say that certain things I've done within the social queue has just not been received well. So I took blame on myself for that. So that's why I'm learning, how to be interactive and knowing the boundaries and certain aspects to just avoid trouble. Yeah.
Got you. Next quick fire question.
Mm-hmm.
What is the best piece of advice you've gotten?
Okay. Network determines your net worth. And that's from Sika. So nice. Big up Sika one time there, my bro. Yes. Networking really helps you grow quicker and expand your avenues with music. Because if you're just in a shell, not producing, well, also networking and producing content. Yes, networking and producing content. Because Sika, I learned from him that producing content really allows people to retain you in their memory, and interacting with the content allows you to have a better relationship with them, and it can also give them the avenue to share your experience with other people, which is more important than just mainstreaming something and expecting everybody to gravitate. It's easier for a friend to say, hey, that man do that over there. I think you would check that out, than you just see something on TV mainstream all the time, and it doesn't really have an impact. So what is the quality of your network? And that will determine your net worth and support. So these are the two best pieces of advice that I've heard.
Beautiful. And my last question. Who would you like to see on Game Changers? That's the last quick hitter question.
There's an array of people, but if I had to say 3 people, I would say Shreffler Maxwell, Sherwin Dubs Bryce, and Ethan Fletcher. I wouldn't mind seeing these guys. They've been doing a good set of stuff in their own field. So Shreffler Maxwell, Ethan Fletcher, and Sherwin Dubs Bryce.
Right, and you give me the contacts. I already have Dubs' contact, but anybody else that you can connect me with, I would love that.
Of course, for sure.
Beautiful. All right, bro. So we're moving on to the back end of the interview. Somebody's watching this and is inspired by you. What advice would you give to them?
All right. So to anybody watching and viewing this, I want to tell you that you have to believe in yourself. You need to work on your craft, continue educating yourself on the business aspect, on the musical industry, because a lot of things are shifting probably on the daily or weekly basis. And if you're not updated, you could find yourself in the wrong place at the wrong time. So just having an up-to-date knowledge of what's happening around you, understanding the value of networking with people outside of the region, because, hey, you're not going to restrict yourself to only a solution market, right? You want to be able to be mainstream on a global platform. So that's an important thing. And also understanding your voice and understanding your message. Because if you don't understand what you are great at delivering, you will be dabbling and trying to find yourself and be like, boy, what can I do? I tried that song, that ain't working. I tried that, it's ain't working. But if you know what you're great at, and I am great at R&B music and I would say soul, so I know that I could deliver there in quick succession. So you need to understand where your strong point is, work on it, shape it, make it relatable, and with that, you'll grow along. It doesn't take much. And also, if you're just looking for more guidance, God is right there. Just pray to God so He could give you the strength to know what your craft is worth, what is the value of your craft, and how you can impact others on a positive scale, so that when you do that, they can be inspired and become a better version of themselves.
Absolutely. Beautiful advice, man. I would take that advice to heart myself. And I am sure our listeners and our viewers would like that advice for themselves.
Of course.
All right, bro. Let's go into contacts. Somebody's watching this and wants to get in contact with you. How can they get in contact with you?
All right. So you could find me on not all music platforms, but you could find me on a few music platforms at Manasseh Vocalist. That's MANASSEH Vocalist. I have to put my Instagram back up. It went down a bit, so I'll be working on that for y'all. But most likely it will be The Vocalist. The page name will be The Vocalist. WhatsApp 758-717-2529 or 486-4971 if you need to reach out to me for maybe writing a song, performing at an event, just probably some vocal advice. I'm here for that. And if you want to email me anything, it's realsinger14@gmail.com. So that's REALSINGR14@gmail.com. And we can take it from here. I don't bite. I would love to contribute and just uplift people so they could be the best version of themselves.
Beautiful, man. Final question. What is next for Manasseh Stanislaus?
Oh boy, there's a lot of possibilities. There is endless possibilities. One thing I possibly can see is having a TV show or TV program or radio program where artists could come along and talk about their experiences and impacting youth. Also, I'm looking at being more full-time in the hotel sector with gigs and stuff. And and coming back into the music arena, coming back after being away for a while. So all these are in the bag, just working on them so I could be able to deliver content which the people will love and show them the new side of me after that evolution.
Beautiful. I like that, man. And I'm looking forward to seeing that side coming into fruition. Yeah.
Of course.
All right, bro. Anto, thank you so much for coming on today. It has been a fruitful discussion. It was a fruitful interview. I want to encourage you to continue striving for greatness. I want you to continue to be in the best version of yourself and continue sharing this information, because the insight that you give on your path can help somebody else who is behind you. So thank you very much, and I wish you all the best in the future.
Yeah, I appreciate you for having me, bro. And like I just said, just reminder to anybody, look up to persons who have been ahead of you in the industry, probably your icons or local artists who are doing better. Follow some of their blueprint advice. You could reach out. They help, because I have reached out to persons like Ronald Bohingson, Arthur Ale, Ace, Michael Robinson. They give advice. So, you just take what works for you. Just keep on listening, keep on updating yourself on the business aspect of music, understanding your craft and what your message is to the people. And it will go all well and true. Not forgetting that your network determines your net worth. So keep on networking with people, reaching out, creating content. It's a digital world. Endless possibilities to capitalize on for income streaming or just your mainstream music clout, I would say.
Absolutely. I love that a lot, man. Thank you very much.
But hold on, Queen. You haven't let me sing for the people so the people can know what's going on. Gasa, you really body boy.
Well, we will be starting the episode with a song from you, right? We'll be starting the episode from a song that you have put out. So I didn't want to put the pressure of you singing live, on the episode. You understand? You understand? I have to be kind to you. I know these things take preparation and all these things. So I didn't want to put you in that spot. You understand?
That's true. I feel you.
But if you want to give us something, you can give us something. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I am going to just remind everybody that summertime is coming up. As you can see, I'm rocking my summer wear. And, just like in COVID, we wanted to be outside. It's going to be a fun time for us to be outside. So let me just sample you all on that there. Check it out. Summertime, Manasseh featuring Salty. Summertime body fit for the road, girl. Melanin on fleek, yeah, you glowing. Got the curve of a Lambo, let we just tango. Girl, I know that you sweet like mango. Hit the poolside down in Morocco. It's a vibe like Marco and Polo. All I wanna do is know the vibes. It's summertime with me. Give thanks and praise Jah. Give thanks and praise Jah. Give thanks and praise Jah for the summertime, yeah, we outside. Give thanks and praise Jah. I want me to give thanks and praise Jah. Give thanks and praise Jah for the summertime. Yeah, we outside. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. That was worth it. That was worth, giving you the opportunity. So I'm thankful for that. Thankful for you for coming on again, as I said before. Okay, guys, this is actually the ending of this episode. And to thank you for coming on and listening to this episode, listening to this content. Remember to like and subscribe, not just to the Game Changers podcast, but also to Manasseh's page on YouTube. And look out for more content like this. I know that we've not been putting out interviews as much as possible, but my technical issues are being sorted out. And we should have more of these interviews being put out and also Chess Moves content as well. Thank you so much for coming on, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.